Illinois, joining us today. Thank you.
Good morning. So glad to be here with you today.
Yeah, thanks.
How are things up there in the Chicago area, Joe?
You know, they're pretty good. I live out in the country, and the corn is in many places nearly 8 feet tall. It's going to be an abundant year, and I'm usually on tour. I'm on the road, and so I go out on the road. I come home a month later, and the corn is 3 feet taller than it was when I left. And then I go out again, and then I go out again, and then I come back another time, and it's all gone. It's all been harvested. And so one of the surprising joys for me of quarantine, of being stationary, is witnessing externally the growth of the world around me and the progression of the seasons, and recognizing within myself a parallel growth and progression through this time.
Wonderful. Great metaphor. Thanks for helping us dig deep from the get-go as we open to the season of goodness, of love, of light, of remembering together.
As we celebrate together. So we'll bring Joe back in a moment. We're going to sing our Come Celebrate song here now together. Won't you join us?
Come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, one by one, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Come celebrate, join in a circle, come celebrate, side by side, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, heart open wide, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. We are one. We are one.
So as we feel that oneness, let's feel our connection to Mother Earth, this place that we're so blessed to call home. As we join together in the chant of our 4 directions, honoring Mother Earth. O great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. And we'll sing that once for each of the 4 directions if we're able to physically turn and face into the 4 directions. We'll begin with the east, the land of the rising sun of new beginnings. Join us.
And then we'll turn to the south, of the land of rich blessings, of knowing how truly abundant life is.
And then we'll turn to the west, to the land of the setting sun, of challenge.
And then we'll turn to the north, the land of winter, the land of standing still and firm in knowing who we truly are.
And then finally, we'll turn within to that divine place of transformative love and power within each of us. So won't you join us as we begin by facing to the east.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
Turning to the south.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
Turning to the west.
Oh, great spirit, earth, Earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me.
Facing into the north.
Oh, great Spirit, Earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me.
And now turning within.
Oh, great Spirit, Earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me.
Oh, great Spirit. Oh, Holy One, Holy Wonder. We join with all of creation, with the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the ones that swim and crawl with rocks, the trees, the grasses, the seas, the skies, the oceans, the rivers, the stars, the moon, all of life, the universe and beyond. We affirm our oneness. We affirm we are one. Together, we
are one.
And again,
We
are
are one.
And for this opportunity to be in community, even virtually, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
And across time and space, I invite you to join me in singing this simple chant, one of the oldest chants continuously sung on the planet that we know of, sung in a slightly modern, westernized melody, Om Shanti Om. Roughly translated, I see love everywhere. I see spirit everywhere. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om. Won't you sing it with me? In your heart. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om. Everywhere I look, love and only love is what I see. Together? Everywhere I look, love and only love is what I see. Everywhere I look, love and only love is what I see. Everywhere I look, love and only love is what I see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om. And now, looking across time and space at someone next to you, perhaps, or perhaps your cat, your dog, or another person in the room, across the room from you.
Into yourself.
When I look at you, love and only love is what I see. When I look at you, love and only what is what I see. When I look at you, love and only love is what I see. When I look at you, love and only love is what I see. Om, Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 One last Om. Om.
Om Shanti. So today's poem is by Hafiz, and it's translated by Daniel Ladinsky from the book I Heard God Laughing. And if you see, you see all this post-it notes on this. This is a well-loved poetry book. And so today's poem, there is a wonderful game. There is a game we should play, and it goes like this. We hold hands and look into each other's eyes and scan each other's face. Then I say, now tell me a difference you see between us. And you might respond, Hafiz, your nose is 10 times bigger than mine. And then I would say, yes, my dear, almost 10 times. But let's keep playing. Let's go deeper. Go deeper. For if we do, our spirits will embrace and interweave. Our union will be so glorious that even God will not be able to tell us apart. There is a wonderful game. We should play it with everyone. And it goes like this. Beautiful. And into this space, we invite you to join us in our time of communal breath, of honoring this ritual of connecting heart to heart, but also connecting body to body in the physical here and now. As we come to this time of communion where if we were physically together, we would pass bread, or we've passed pecans and flowers. And this is a time now of joining together, of breathing together, of connecting with breath. And I invite you to not just take a breath, but to literally ingest it, take it into your body. Let it be a fully somatic experience, and bringing you us into this present moment together. And then as you exhale to release and let go, letting anything past that no longer serves you flow like the river downstream. So we use the bowl to connect on the inhale. We'll do 4 deep breaths together. Breathing into this precious present moment. And again. And once more. Truly, we remember that we are one. So it is.
And into this space, we'd like to welcome our good friend Joe Jencks. He has been singing and speaking around the country and across Europe for many years. And there's a reason why he's asked to come to so many churches and festivals and schools to share his warmth and wisdom and his insight, as well as his music. And so we're very happy, very blessed to have with us again, Joe Jencks. Good morning, Joe.
Great to be here with you and Zet this morning. Thanks so much for having me back to Celebration Circle. And was just, as you were talking about that, I was remembering the first place that we met, which was on Chapel Hill at the Kerrville Folk Festival. And I'm guessing that could easily have been 15 years ago. And so I'm going to start out with a song called Flame in the Darkness. And then we'll go a few other places from there. But we have an opportunity to be for each other a light in the darkness, a source of hope. And now perhaps more than ever, not only is that an opportunity, but I think an obligation. And I have here in my studio in Illinois, because I don't like having open flame here, I have a little battery operated light, but I always light at the beginning of services here in my space and set it in a place where I can see it while I'm singing and talking, and be reminded of that light that binds us to each other, whether or not we're aware of it, that light of spirit.
There's a flame in the darkness, burning deep within our hearts, in the love that grows between us. This is where the journey starts. There is hope in the stillness. There is solace in our friends and in the love that flows between us. This is where the isolation ends. Come full circle in a moment. Hold no shame in what you feel. This whole world will keep on turning, and our broken hearts will heal. When the rain falls around you like your solitary tear, in the love that flows between us, know that thunder holds no fear. In the struggle you hold sacred, when the arrows pierce you through, in the love that flows between us, may your courage be renewed. each silence. There is promise in each day, and in the love that holds between us, may we always find our way. Come full circle in a moment, hold no shame in what you feel. This old world will keep on turning, and our broken hearts will heal. There's a flame in the darkness, burning deep within our hearts, in the love that grows between us. This is where the journey starts. There is hope in the stillness. There is solace in our friends, and in the love that flows between us. The sacred journey never ends. Yes, in the love that holds between us, sacred journey.
In the love that holds between us, the sacred journey never ends. May it be so. It's been an interesting time for all of us, each in our own way. I mentioned at the beginning of the service that for me, being stationary has been extraordinarily unique. I spent the last 21 years on the road full-time, traveling all over North America and parts of Western Europe and the Caribbean. And I'm normally not any one place for more than a matter of days at a time, and then I move on. And I spent the first 6 weeks of COVID quarantine, first 7 weeks in upstate New York with a friend. And then I came home, and there was a very quick turnaround time for me to turn a small recording space in my basement into a place where I could give virtual performances from, and a requirement to transform myself from someone who was very familiar with the stage. I've been performing professionally since I was 14 years old. And to transform that and the evolution of my early love of theater and music and being a church musician, to take all of that and put it into a box, to step into a space that felt small and confining, and to learn how to be my best in that space. That was a journey. And then a week ago, I was privileged to go perform a live concert. It was broadcast only, no audience, only tech crew, from a wonderful venue in Ann Arbor, Michigan called The Ark. And I was shocked at how unsettling it was to step into that space. I had gotten used to the smaller spaces. I had gotten used to being in my quarantine bubble and doing my thing. And suddenly I was in a 450-seat theater, and it was unsettling to me. And I had to be present in that moment with the truth of my own anxiety, an anxiety that I think each of us feels in one form or another. And I think for many of us, there has been almost a biblical level sense of perhaps a lack of clarity, insecurity about where the journey will take us. And as I think about that, I was thinking about a song I wrote a number of years ago called "Where Are You, Moses?" And I thought I would head into that for a moment. This is how you know it's live. I'm tuning. If this were pre-recorded, we would have edited all of this out. And that's how you know that we're all in this together, in this moment. One of many signs.
Where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home.
Sing it with me if you want from home.
Where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. Your children all are hungry, no food for them to eat. Wandering through this desert, Lord, no shoes upon their feet. So tell me now, where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. You said when we left Egypt, you and God had worked it out to lead us to a promised land. You said there was no doubt. So tell me now, where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. People carve their idols to worship and to keep. With greed and lust and hatred, Lord, they dig their graves so deep. So tell me now, where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. Many tribes and nations searching for the light. Each one has an answer, Lord. Each one thinks they're right. So tell me now, where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. So tell me now, where are you, Moses? Where are you now? Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. I said, come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home. Come down from that mountain, Moses. Lead your children home.
We have been raised in cultures that invite us to look for heroes outside of us, that invite us to look for external understandings of how we can find our center, which is so peculiar because, of course, our center would be within. But we're steeped in the idea of the hero that will save us from whatever is going on. And the unfortunate part of that is that we miss the idea that each one of us is on a heroic journey. Each one of us is in our own life the protagonist of a story, the one that faces some form of adversity. For most of us, many, many different places in our lives, we have an opportunity to be aware of a heroic narrative. Joseph Campbell, the famed mythology professor and author, spoke very eloquently about mythology and what it means. Carl Jung, the psychologist, the father of modern psychology, talked about dreams as the personalized mythology. And Joseph Campbell, who was both literally and figuratively a student of Carl Jung, he spoke of the idea of mythology being society's dreams, the way that we express our dreams, our hopes, our fears, the manifestation of the collective unconscious. And I know a lot of people who have experienced very peculiar dreams in the last several months. And there is a certain mythology that emerges out of every time in history, out of every place, that helps us frame what we're experiencing. And to spend our time looking for the external hero is to miss the opportunity for us to create our own meaning and therein find our own power and our own capacity. And Joseph Campbell invites all of us, if you read his works, if you study his life, his teachings, he invites all of us to understand in the same way that we might take time to understand our personal theology, that we would take the spiritual teachings that we have been exposed to and understand what makes sense to us personally in our own heart. Joseph Campbell invites us to sort of understand, I think, implicitly through his writing, our personal mythology, and both the places where the myth is dragging us down because it's fundamentally not true, and the places where the myth can lift us up because it reminds us of the best that we have to offer, of what we have to give. But we have to recognize that the journey of the hero often starts out in that place of insecurity. The journey of the hero often starts out in that place of not understanding or knowing the outcome. Inevitably, we return having gained some knowledge that improves our life, that improves our community. We have returned with some capacity that we didn't have before we set out on that journey. But when we begin it, the outcome is unknown. It requires faith. And this song speaks to that a little bit. It's called It's All About Love.
Don't know how to keep on walking this line between my visions and the highway sign. I don't know how to keep on striking the spark to ignite the flame that will pierce the dark. But I'm already gone if I can't live while I'm here. Yes, I'm already gone if I can't love through the fear. It's awful hard to keep from being a wreck when I feel the breath of the reaper cool on my neck. It's hard to live inside the rhyme and the rhythm of the song, to respirate my gratitude and pretend that nothing is wrong. But I'm already gone if I can't live while I'm here. Yes, I'm already gone if I can't love through the fear. So I hang on tight and watch the slipping sand, try to hold the contradictions in the palm of my hand. For every grain that tumbles, there are more that remain. But the hand that closes to a fist loses all that it contains. So let it crack wide open, let this broken heart bleed. Let it soak through the soil and nourish the sea. Let the water from my eyes be a gift to the parched land. Till all my sisters and brothers rejoice hand in hand. 'Cause I'm already gone. If I can't live while I'm here, yes, I'm already gone. If I can't love through the fear, if I can't love through the fear, sisters and brothers, we must love through the fear. It's all about love. 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 Sing that with me. It's all about love. 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 It's all about love.
I was so glad that Zet read to us from the words of Hafez. As a young person, as a young man, I was deeply moved by the words of Khalil Gibran in his book, The Prophet. And I did not understand at the time the way in which that book fits so neatly into the wisdom tradition of the Sufi mystics of Rumi and Hafez until much later in my life when I went back and began to familiarize myself with the writings of Hafez and Rumi. And in the book, The Prophet, Khalil Gibran writes about the dichotomy of joy and sorrow. And he talks about sorrow and sadness and grief, of which many of us have been experiencing those feelings. He speaks of them very eloquently and talks about, that there's a great debate that people will say which is more important, joy or sorrow, which is the one that we should really focus our attention on. And he says this is a very peculiar debate in his mind, because the pain of our sorrow, the pain of our loss, if ignored, becomes a disease. It becomes something that weighs us down, becomes something that can make us ill, whether that's spiritually or emotionally or physically or psychologically. The weight of that sadness, of that grief, of that anger, of that frustration that is unreleased can become that fist that tries to hold everything and is able to hold nothing because it's clenched. But joy unto itself has no meaning. They are the two, the yin and the yang, that balance each other. He says, is not the knife of your sorrow the same knife that carves out the cup in which the water you drink is held? Is it not the same knife that carves the wood that becomes the lute that makes beautiful music? How can the joy of one exist without the pain of the other in balance? And when I think about what it means for us to be a light for each other, to be a hope in the darkness, to be a reference point for hanging on to something that is beautiful and something that will nourish us and nurture us through difficulty, I think about these words from the Prophet, from Khalil Gibran, this amazing Lebanese artist and poet, quite contemporary compared to Hafez and Rumi. Hafez lived almost 700 years after the time, Khalil Gibran lived almost 700 years after the time of Hafez and Rumi. And yet the wisdom sits squarely in the tradition and comes to us that our joy and our sorrow are in balance. And if there is much sorrow in the world, then we get to be joy for each other. If there is much sadness, then we get to be hope for each other. If there is darkness, then we must find a way to be light for each other. And there's an old Buddhist idea that hatred never ceases hatred, but by love alone is it healed. And Mohandas Gandhi, the Mahatma, picked up this idea. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, picked up this idea and carried it forward. And he talked about hatred never stops hatred. Only love can do that. Darkness never stops darkness. Only light can do that. And to add hatred to hatred is to bring more darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Such a powerful image that King gave us in that. That's such a gifted wordsmith that reaches into our hearts. And so I invite all of us this morning, this week, I invite all of us to find ways that we can be that light for each other. And even in places of isolation, even when we're feeling lonely, there are surprising points of hope. I've seen so many beautiful sunsets sitting out on my patio, watching the sunset over the cornfields across the street. This is not something I've experienced, even though I've lived here for almost 5 years out in the country. I have not seen that so much because I've been too busy doing the things that I do. And now in the evenings, on a clear evening, I go out and I watch the sunset. Sometimes I even bring my laptop out and do work I need to do, or bring the phone and talk with people. But I just bathe in the radiant beauty of the world around me. Behind me is an image of a sunset, a painting that I bought while I was on tour in Ireland a year ago. And this is off the west coast of Ireland. And I keep it here because it reminds me of that hope. And so I'm going to sing another song about hope and then turn this back over to Zet and to Rudi. The song is called Fireflies. And I have seen so many fireflies this summer because I've been in one place where I could witness them. I've been home for months, and I have to tell you, it is quite the symphony of light and wonder when I go walking on the trails around here at night. There's a little rails to trails space north of where I live, and I'll go out there after dark and wander around and see the fireflies. I stood on an old train trestle that goes over a small river, and I looked out, and it looked like those images you see in movies when they show flashbulbs going off in an arena. All these fireflies just by the thousands. So the song is called Fireflies, and I hope that you are finding hope where you are, and that you can let the sadness in enough that it becomes the knife that carves the cup from which you drink, that it becomes the plane that shaves the wood, that becomes the instrument that makes beautiful music. We have a spiritual opportunity to be overwhelmed by the moment, or to step into the moment and know that we will emerge on the other side stronger as we allow ourselves to feel the full measure of what is going on.
Lightning strikes, the thunder rolls. There's a rumble in the distance. Love calls even when I am afraid. I feel it knock on my resistance. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. How I wish my life was simple, like when I was a child long ago. My sense of wonder could be held within a mason jar, and I was cradled in their glow. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. One by one, I capture my dreams and try to hold them in my hand. But it seems they always slip away through the hourglass falling sand. As I sit here on this warm Virginia night, searching for a sign that's true, tiny beacons flicker in the darkness. They tell me that this storm will pass on through. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. The fireflies will have to do.
There is hope in the darkness. There is light in places unexpected. There is joy in moments yet unknown. As long as our hearts remain open, as long as our hearts remain open to each other and to the possibility that we can, for each other, be teachers, be bringers of light, be sources of hope, and most of all, be people who choose as a daily practice to walk in love and walk in gratitude.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. So let's just sink into that feeling that we are the hope. We are the light. We are love for each other. And take a moment to really feel the power of giving and receiving that love. Begin by closing your eyes and listening to the music, the flute. The bowl. Allow the sounds to truly penetrate your being as you become aware of yourself in this particular moment. In this body in this chair, in this room, in this life, right now. Feel yourself present. Breathe in slowly, gently, calmly. And take your time. There's no hurry. For love is infinite. Love is limitless. Love is timeless. I invite you to center your awareness, your breath, and your heart beating in your chest. Notice that as you rest your attention in your heart, you are also focused on the whole of who you are. And feel the magnificence of who you truly are. Allow yourself to expand with each breath, to take in more love with each breath, to give more love with each exhale, feeling that you are the hope. You are the light. There's nothing you need to do to earn this, to make this happen, to create this healing flow of love and light. Simply feel your willingness to participate in this ceaseless, miraculous flow of love, moving in and through every cell and fiber of your being. And as we stay present, as together we accept and participate in this ceaseless, miraculous flow of love that moves to and through each of us, to and through each other. Feel from this place of deep connection. Feel this love as your love, your power, your generosity, your compassion to share. And won't you do so freely right now to send that love out into the world freely? knowing that even as it flows from you, it is flowing back to you, through you, as you, cycling to and from you again and again, magnified and multiplied by your willingness to be an instrument of love, of compassion, of hope, of well-being, of abundance. Feel that and rest in that. As we experience our oneness with all love, as we feel gratitude for this opportunity to share our compassion, to give and receive again and again. And with this next breath, won't you find yourself back here with eyes open, immersed in a circle of love, knowing that all is well and all shall be well as we are the flame in the darkness. So together now we take a moment to sing our gratitude song, In All Things Give Thanks.
In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. Sing it with me. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. Give thanks for the gift of life. The one light shines through all of creation with hands and hearts open wide. We lift our voices in celebration. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks.
In giving thanks, we hold our gifts, our offerings, our love, our prayers, lift them up and put them into the basket, holding them up into the light of love, of compassion, of hope.
Particularly lift up all those folks who are suffering in this time of COVID-19, the hurricane striking our coast. All those in the circle who are feeling challenged. We feel their challenge with our hearts wide open. We feel our challenges with our hearts wide open, truly knowing and remembering that all of life, all of love is flowing through us now, and all shall be well in all manner of things.
As we speak these words, I give to you, O Spirit, as you have given to me, with heart wide open. Together, I give to you, O Spirit, as you have given to me, with heart wide open. And please send any prayers for the prayer circle in an email to circle@celebrationscircle. And we invite back Joe Jencks with another one of his heartfelt songs.
Thank you so much. This is a song derived from the words of Julian of Norwich, a medieval mystic, and she had a mantra: all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. And that was my starting point, as I needed a reminder to trust all that I have seen to guide me through all that is yet unseen.
All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. We gather here to witness and affirm the harmony of spirit and of heart. Manifest within you, brought forth from deepest hope, to be a force of healing in this world. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. You find your purpose in service to a light that emanates from each and every being that is life. We see the gifts that blossom in your care, and the people who are nourished by your love. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. May you go forth to mend what has been broken, to feed those who are hungry, to quench the ones who thirst, for a world of compassion, for mercy that abounds, and a place to dwell in sacred gentleness. All will be well, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. All will be well, all will be well.
So thank you. Another wonderful Sunday morning. All will be well.
Thank you for ministering to my heart and to the many other hearts that have tuned in today and in days to come. Blessings on you,
Absolutely,
brother.
my honor to be here with you and with Celebration Circle. Such an amazing community in person. I've been privileged to share a Sunday morning or two with you over the years, and equally as powerful, even in this new paradigm, to gather and be reminded that we can all persevere, but none of us can do it alone. We need each other. And thank you so much for being here for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
So as we close, we lift up the offerings, we lift up the prayer circle, we lift up each and every one into the light, into the love, as we remember that love is the only power, love is the only way. Watch our circle grow, and we're going to join our hands together virtually.
Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow. Grow in peace. Go in peace. Blessings.
And just remember that no matter where you go, what you do, that we love you, we bless you, and we see the light in you. Go in peace. So, thank you. This was just such a wonderful opportunity to open my heart and feel that connection. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you both. You're very welcome. Truly my pleasure.
I'm
So
gonna,
glad it started with that. The words from Hafez just really touched me. Beautiful choice.
Yeah, Rudi found that one and thought it would be appropriate for today. So
let's play a game together. Why not?
let's all play that game. Let's all look into each other's eyes.
There's another wonderful Hafez piece that's I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's it talks Tripping Over Joy is the name of the poem. If you don't know it, you should look for it. But it's it talks about Hafez says, "What's the difference between you and a saint? The saint knows that life is a continual chess game with the divine, and that the divine has just made such a fantastic move that the saint is continually tripping over joy and bursting out with laughter and saying, 'I surrender.' Whereas you, my dear, you still think you have 1,000 serious moves."
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
We will definitely look that one up.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's like, it's again, this idea that the playfulness of Hafez is so moving to me. The idea that, I think because of the traditional Judeo-Christian roots in a lot of spiritual traditions in the West, we have unfortunately assimilated the idea that our spiritual relationship should be one that is always solemn and somber and weighty. And Hafez reminds us that if God is all things, then God is also joy and laughter and levity and delight and wonder. And I love that the mystics of many traditions invite us into this awareness of the wonder of God, of the joy of the divine, of the playfulness of spirit.
Oh, and now you've reminded us again,
Yes.
so beautifully and poignantly. Thanks.
And, and too, just thinking into the future, on August 30th, Joni Brooks is going to be with us, and she leads laughter yoga. So she is going to share that with us. I think it's a good time for us to kind of have that. And then we have Carrie Clack on the 23rd and Angel Santiago on the 16th. So we've got some great talks coming up.
That's marvelous.
People reminding us of the multidimensionality of spirit moving in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for having me back. Truly my
Thank
joy to
you.
celebrate
Thank
with you
you.
this Sunday.
Blessings to